if I bring you round here, and you'll see there's one of those like little hexagon drives in the drag on the gearbox. We're going to undo that so that there's air into the top of the gearbox so that the oil should drain out quicker, and it'll also stop any sort of vacuum almost locking that in as well. So that's what we're going to do next. So what we've done, we've just put a jug under there in the bowl, because although this is the filling plug, it is possible that some oil could run out. It's not going to in this case, but that's just to be safe rather than sorry. There are actually a couple of gearboxes that were used on these 45s. Some take almost the same as engine oil, and others take the traditional gearbox oil. We were talking about the drain plug on this gearbox possibly not having one. You may have seen that bottom bolt, and of course we'd seen that as well. We were worried it was the detent ball for the gear changes. What we've done with a bit more research is found that actually it was that is the case, but it also is the drain plug as well. So if I bring this up, and you can just see the little ball in the end, but it's also got your seal there, so it's almost a two-part thing. It's the drain plug, and it's got that detent ball in it as well. And if I come back up, and hopefully if I get the lighting right, you can see almost like little teeth in there, and that's what the ball springs in now. But if we just move the gear lever a little bit inside, hopefully you'll see it moving. Yeah, you can see that moving there. So I just thought I'd show you that, as that's what we've sort of been sorting out. And what that's done, if I come down here, that's let us drain the gearbox all out, which we really did want out. So as a complete change, because actually it's looking pretty dirty. I mean, they even suggest in the manual that it's a lifetime oil and you only top it up with engine oil, but when the cars get to this age, it really does need changing. So that's the good thing. We've got all that oil out now. It's all drained out. We can change it. Coming from the front of the car to the gearbox, we've now got that drain plug tightened back in, so that's now done up, and we've got the fill plug just in but loose, ready for when we come to refill the gearbox. Right, so it's time to now put the oil in the gearbox. As we said before, this gearbox takes a standard almost engine oil, so that's the oil we're going to be using. But what we like to do, like when we service a car, is add in the heavy duty oil stabilizer or oil treatment from Lucas, and I think this gearbox works out we only need half of that, so that'll give us spare for another time. And what we're doing different this time is we're actually going to use an oil pump. Normally we fiddle about with a big tube at the top and a little cone and pour the oil down, which is fiddly. So this time we're going to be using this oil pump, which we see someone else using online from Sealy. So all we got to do is get the oil into here, a mixture of this and this. When you add it in up to the level plug and it starts to overflow, but hopefully we'll be able to show you that. Right, so because the oil stabiliser is quite thick, what we've done is put it in a little bowl of hot water so it warms up and thins down just a little bit, so it's easier to pour. And what we've also done is marked where we want the oil stabiliser to come, and then we'll fill the rest up with oil, and that will let us mix it out of the car. And then if we need any more, we just put oil in to that pot and fill it up till the gearbox starts to overflow. And now all we're doing is pouring the oil into the container, so that the stabiliser and the oil we're using will get mixed and go into the gearbox. And we think it is likely we'll use possibly another one of those, or certainly a good amount. Right, so as you can see there, you've got the bottom drain hole, and we've got our little pipe into the top filling plug, and we're just pumping the oil in. It's going to take quite a time to do, looking by the way it pumps, but we're hoping and think it is still easier than trying to fiddle about with a tube and holding it in, because that nice little metal hook goes up into the gearbox and is getting that oil into the gearbox, and we've got it all nicely mixed within that can as well. Right, so we're slowly going to continue pumping and getting that oil in, and once it's done we'll show you the next stage. Right, so we've kept pumping. As you can see now, it's dribbling out the top and down our tube, so that's full up. You may have to check it again after the car's run a little bit, but for now that is up to the top level. And actually, although it's a little bit of pumping, we think it is definitely worth having one of these pumps for putting in gearbox oil, because it certainly saved a lot of the mess of trying to find a pipe to fit in there, someone holding it underneath while I'm up on top with a cone into that pipe and trying to pour the oil down. This certainly makes it easier for that little bit of pumping. So yeah, that's that done. We'll put the level plug back in now. And that's the drain plug back in and nice and tight. And that really is the end of this job. As always, hopefully it's been of use to you. They're not really how-tos, but they're just a chance for you to have a look at how we do it, and then if you're planning to do it, you can watch that video along with others, and of course look at the manuals as well. As always, we can't cover every little bit of the jobs. There's bound to be little bits we've left out, but hopefully we've covered enough. Don't forget to look at some of our other videos, and of course don't forget to look at the other video we've been doing alongside this one, which has been changing the calipers and refurbishing them, and all the brake work that will be available as well on the channel. But for now, as always, thank you very much for watching.